Hey yo, Patrick Bet David absolutely explodes after this rude CIA agent literally insults him. This is wild. This is crazy. You are not going to want to miss it. Viewer discretion is advised. Without further ado, let's rock.
You want to know why I hate him?
Yeah, I'm still curious to hear it.
People like you seem to like him.
Are you out of your mind? Are you? Do you know people like me?
No, I like
people like me escape the bullshit of people like you that bought into the games being played against guys like him.
I think you're what makes this country great, and I can't figure out why someone as smart
Do you want me to explain to you why?
It's
not. It's not. But wait a minute. You make it seem like this is a Trump podcast.
No, it's not. But like I don't understand. Forgive me.
Yeah.
The way I look at him is binary. I can't look at him and see good things.
I can look at Obama and see good things. I can look at Biden and see good things. I can look at Bill Clinton and see good things.
Then you're better than I am.
It's not about being better than you are, buddy. It's not about that. I love America. And I don't look at people from the standpoint. I've sit down with mobsters, gangsters. I've sit down with, communists. I love talking to communists because it's a great conversation for me. I don't sit there and say, I hate this guy. See, the challenge with your side, because you sound like a broken record right now, as if it's CNN or MSNBC. Do you know what happened to their ratings when the world found out they were full of shit with Russia? Go look at their ratings. Go look at their ratings the week after the world found out this entire dossier was funded by a lady named Hillary Clinton. What happened to the ratings afterwards? You know why? Because Americans were sitting there saying, we believed you. Schiff, we believed you guys. Cuomo, we believed you. Lamont, we believed you. Cooper, we believed you, and you fooled us. And now Brian Williams, who's a guy that interviewed you, says what? I'm done with this. I'm worried because of what's going on to America today. And he's stepping away. So for me, when it comes down to guys that come out and say things like that about Trump and Russia, oh my gosh, tell me one president. First of all, let's put the truth out there. Has this been a guy that his entire life has been a master troll and a bully?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't disagree. Has this been a guy that came from the streets of New York where negotiations are all hardcore and you got to go against other guys that are also hardcore because New York's DNA is like you are? This is what I like. Is that how New York is?
Yes.
This is New York's DNA. America's not Matt Zeller.
No.
America's not Chris Christie.
No.
America's not Hillary Clinton nor Trump. America's not Cuomo. America is more Tyler. America is more just a regular person that loves his country, right?
Right.
Okay. And then you come out and you say Russia, 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 Russia. When this guy was president, let me tell you what policies I like. I go policies. If you want to talk emotion, personality, you can hate that guy's personality. You can sit there and say, this guy knows the hell out of me. I know people that hate Obama. Hate Obama. Every Obama interview I've ever watched, whether it's with Leno, whether it's with whoever, I've never seen an interview where I didn't like hearing him speak. I would say I'd love to watch a game with this guy. Doesn't mean I agree with his policies.
Bingo. That's literally it. 1,000%. 1,000%. And for me, I love what Patrick Bet David spoke about in terms of we believe you, right? Like in terms of the media, right? These people that control these corporations that push and push and push the agenda, right? Just push the, and by the way, for me personally, I would say it's my fault because I should have known to do my due diligence, right? Because we have to do our due diligence. That's what Patrick's not speaking about, but it's at the heat of the moment, right? So, yeah, that to me, that's what that taught me, and that's what that should teach you is don't just listen to CNN, don't just listen to MSNBC, do your own due diligence, right? Back to the video.
So the emotions I pull out and I say, okay, let's look at policies. When this guy took office, he was the first guy that was not afraid of facing off China. First guy. That's it. You want to do this? Tariff. You want to do this? Tariff. You want to do this? Tariff. Look where we are today. These barrels that we were getting from China that was $2,500 a pop, now it's what? Containers. $40,000 a container. You think he will let them charge $40,000 today? Hell to the no. But Biden says what? End of message. End of message. What end of message? You're giving a speech on the guy that passed away. End of message. Trump stood up against China. Trump was willing to sit down with these guys, negotiate. Trump did Palestine and Israel. Like that's ridiculous to be able to do what he did 25 years. Economy was doing good for whites, blacks, Asians, Hispanics, women, everybody. But media hated this guy. Why? Because he called that bullshit. And that's his flaw. His fault was the following. If somebody as an advisor gives him a fault, it's the following. Charles Barkley said this the other day. Kevin Durant asked him, said, how come you're not on Twitter? He says, you know why I'm not on Twitter? He says, why? He says, because I'm old school. If I'm on Twitter and people talk shit to me, I feel like it's my responsibility to respond back. That's Barkley. Guess what? That's Trump. Trump needs to avoid 99% of the shit people say to him, and you just focus on the 1%. He wanted to fight everybody, and he made his life a living hell. That's on him. But that's how he's wired. That comes with the territory. But to say the guy's a Russian asset, Matt, I mean, you can say you disagree with his policies. You can say, Stormy Daniels, McDougal. You can say grab him by this with the Bush story. You can say McCain, which was an absolute, to me, what the hell are you doing going after somebody, POW? This guy served the military. You don't have the right to call out another military person. How come all these generals you don't get along with? What happened with Mattis? I get Milley. I get some of these guys. But what happened with some of these other guys? Of course, all of that stuff, fully agree. I totally get it. But sit there and just put it all blanket. Hillary Clinton just came out and said the following. She said, I don't know if you guys read this or not. Mm-hmm. Hillary Clinton warns 2024 presidential election could be the end of democracy. National Review. Hillary Clinton warned that former President Trump is poised to run for election.
All right. So number one, that's another lie that's being spewed is that if Trump gets elected, it's the end of democracy, right? That is 100% false, right? That is false advertisement. It is not going to be the end of democracy, right? And people are literally saying, oh, if he gets elected, he's not going to leave office. No, excuse me. After his term, he won't leave office, right? Which, I mean, he left office the first time. He's going to leave the second, right? If he does get elected, right? So again, more lies they're spewing, right? To get you to believe into the propaganda, right? So like Vivek said, we're going up against a machine. This is a machine that we're going up against, right? Does that make sense? So let me know what you think in the comments. Back to the video.
2024 and said that if he wins, American democracy will suffer irreparable damages. If I were a betting person right now, I'd say Trump's going to run again. I think that would be the end of our democracy. Not to be point about it, but I want people to understand that this could be a make it or break it point. If you or someone of his ilk were once again to be elected president, especially if he had a Congress that would be doing his bidding, you would not recognize our country. For many outside observers, it looks as though Trump is gearing up to launch a campaign for 2024. 90% chance this guy's running. You know it, I know it. He's going to be running. But
I agree with what she said, by the way. I think it is, if he wins, it'll be the end of our democracy. We are not a functioning, by the way, we're not a functioning democracy right now.
No, people said if Obama gets elected, communism's here.
But we're not a functioning democracy anymore on a federal level. We're not.
Okay.
We absolutely are not.
Unpack that.
Okay, so how to begin? You have one political party, again, that is a cult of personality. Okay, they do whatever Donald Trump wants. There's no party platform anymore, right? There's just whatever Trump wants. And I know that you keep saying he's not a Russian asset, but why did the Republican Party change the platform at the Republican Party convention in 2016 when it came to Ukraine once he took the nomination? Why was it that was changed? Why did he try to pull us out of NATO? I'm sorry, you had everything the one thing that you never said to me that explained is his Russian policy.
After all the investigations, show one proof he's a Russian asset instead of just making accusations. Show the proof. For example, if somebody says Biden, daddy, the big guy, $10 million, there is proof.
Okay.
The New York Times story when it was blocked by Twitter,
that's proof. Look at how much money he gets through Deutsche Bank. Who do you think funds Deutsche Bank?
What I'm trying to tell you is show me after the last 3.5 years, what kind of investigation could they have done on him?
He's such a shitty businessman. He can't even get lended to by anybody else other than the one bank that the Russians specifically fund. I'm sorry. Like, come on.
Stop it. You're saying he's a shitty businessman.
Absolutely.
He's a shitty businessman.
He's a horribly shitty businessman.
You're losing credibility on that side. Buddy.
Really?
This guy's a bad businessman?
How many of his casinos went bankrupt? How many contractors did he never pay? He's losing his hotel in Washington, D.C. right now.
How do you think business works?
Really?
How do you think business works?
He had daddy's money. You know, they figured out that if he had taken the loan his father gave him in the 70s and he had simply just invested in an index fund, he'd be worth $25 billion today. That's how I know he's a shitty businessman. He couldn't even keep up with the market.
Yeah. So that just to me bleeds envy and frustration.
It's not
and
envy
anger.
and frustration.
You're upset.
No, he's a silver.
It's totally fine if you are upset with the guy.
No, what I'm upset is what he's done to my country.
What he did to your country in 4 years.
Yes. He poured jet fuel on a fire. You're the president of the United States. You're supposed to unite us.
Who's the last
not divide
Who's
us.
the last unifier we had in America?
That's a great question. I've been thinking that for a long time. I've been really trying to ask myself like who would be the last, and it probably is Reagan. You'd think like maybe because like we think about like when it's the last landslide election, 84.
I think Bill was able to get both sides to
Bill and Nuke language.
Hey, if you're loving this video, make sure you give it a like, man. This is really good stuff. This is really good. This is what we need to see, and these are conversations that we need to have. Back to the video.
Contract with America.
Fantastic. You take Monica Lewinsky out. Take that out.
That's fair. Okay, maybe.
I say Bill and Reagan. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast,
all right. Check it out. Here's my opinion on this. Okay. Obviously, I gotta side with my man Patrick David over here. Okay, 1000%. All right, absolutely. Again, for me, the president is somebody that's supposed to represent us, right? Again, 1000%. I also agree. He's somebody that definitely has had controversy happen. He's definitely 100% not a perfect person, right? And I'm referring to Trump, right? He's 1000%. I agree with Patrick on that. But again, who do we want representing us, right? Who do we want standing up to North Korea and all these other countries, right? And doing deals with us, right? Because the president is somebody that's basically speaking on our behalf, right? So who do we want to handle those affairs, right? So for me, that's my opinion. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I know this video is wild. All right, guys. So I know y'all going to be going crazy in the comments. I'm going to get active in there too. All right. Thank you for watching. All right. Until next time, peace.